is groupthink. Yeah. You can't be in the middle of heavy praise and Brother Israel is jumping up and down. And you are standing like, say I not savvy dancer. I can't dance. I don't have it inside of me. Groupthink demands on you to align yourself to the frequency of your team, the intensity of your team. And that itself, most times, is conflict. But I'm smiling now. You are not smiling, you are frowning. This is my real face. And you are in the hospitality team. You want to stand at the door. Welcome to church. Come in. Yeah. It can't work. So usually when there are conflicts in a team, it is majorly around getting people to agree to certain things that are needed and essential to having goals. There can be major disagreements. There can also be minor disagreements. But every team would experience a measure of disagreement. And you must be ready for it. Yeah. Because if you are not ready for it, what it will lead to is war. But if you understand that people are entitled to disagree, but your job as a team member or your job as a team leader or group leader is to align based on certain factors. You need to align the people while understanding where their differences is coming from. It doesn't mean you agree with the differences, but you understand that they have a right to be different. Because sometimes we don't see that. When we just want to hit a goal, we want to get a task done, we are not interested in what is going on. So with conflict resolution, it's basically a process that helps resolve disagreements and disputes. English is failing me this morning. Disputes between two or more parties. So there is chaos, there is drama. We're trying to align together, and conflict resolution is the tool that you use. It is finding acceptable solutions that addresses the concern of all parties. It doesn't mean it resolves it, but it addresses it. It acknowledges it. Because sometimes people don't even want you to solve their problem. They just want you to know that it's there. Did you know that? Sometimes they just want you to know. Before I could get to this meeting, I had a flat tire. My battery ran out. I had so much chaos. I had to put my children in the car to get here. And at the end of that entire conversation, all you say as a team member or as a leader is, but you're late. Because for you, it's about the task. Now, everything that person has said, you can't change it. You can't fix it. They are late already. But you must acknowledge it. Oh, I'm so sorry that you went through a lot. I'm trying to block it out. You must listen to it, acknowledge it, then go back to the goal. So it's that Abuja day people pass by, dust will gather, things will gather. After a while, it will start to smell. That's what presenteeism can do in a team. So you're not helping the team move forward. Sometimes, because you are just there, people who come into the team begin to mirror you. Principle of the first follower. They follow you. They follow the temperature of the room. And they too slip into presenteeism. They're not striving for anything new. They're not looking for any goals. They're just marking the register. And that's what happens when you don't resolve conflict. Now, conflict comes in various forms. There are types of conflict. And those types of conflicts are kind of common. It's not exclusive, but it's common to a lot of relationships, teams. And when we talk about team dynamics, I said it last week. Don't just think of work. Think of your children. Think of your family. Think of your church. Think of every single team. Some of you are in the WhatsApp group of your old school association. But you are just there. Do you know the amount of resource that are on some of those pages? Some can be annoying, trust me. I'm part of it. In fact, you are tempted some days to pull yourself out of it. But these are people that you've spent years in the past with, who have evolved. Probably evolving at a faster rate than you, slower rate than you, or at the same rate as you. And they have resources that you can leverage on. Yet, because you are not intentional about making yourself a valuable team member, you can't access it. Because the only thing that attracts people is results, is investment. Like I always say, relationships are for maximizing potentials. Every relationship you have must count. It must. It must. And when I was coaching one of my young teenagers and I mentioned this thing to him, he said, as a Christian, is that not selfish? I smiled. Like, if you're always going to every relationship, you know, teenagers will ask you questions and you're going with, what can this person do for me? Are you not being selfish? Are you a Christian? And I said to him, there was a reason why Jesus picked every disciple. Yeah? Every single disciple. But he had an inner three. And there's a reason why he picked that inner three. So every relationship has its level of value it brings to you. So when I mean relationships are for maximizing potentials, potentials does not mean monetary value. There are people that you are being a blessing to. That's potential. The ability to impact someone in a direction. Watch them grow. Watch them become. Watch God do things in their life. Be a part of their story is a huge potential. Because what it means is that if you are going to inspire somebody, you must be moving. Right? You must be. You can't stay in one spot. For the people on your level, the relationship should be symbiotic. I'm feeding from you, you're feeding from me. And of course, there are high value networks above you that inspire you, that pushes your growth, that encourages you that all things are possible. Especially if you are harnessing your relationships in that particular direction. So there are types of conflict, and the first one of them is task-based conflicts. This occurs in situations where team members rely on each other to complete a task. I need you. you need me. I need you to do those calculations so that I can prepare my presentation. I need you to tabulate those figures so that I can not to be mindful in that particular task. So by the time I do my reporting and the reporting is off, we all look inefficient. So when you need to depend on other people, a good example is church, and that team member does not do their part, it affects every other team member's ability to deliver. Somebody is playing football and they are meant to create that pass to the striker. I don't know much about football. I'm just trying to use the analogy. I fall asleep when watching football. Forgive me. And you now try, and this guy just kicks the ball, and it's like 2 minutes to the end of the game. If there's no organized beating for the guy, it will remain small. Conflict will arise. People will talk. People will be angry. When you need somebody to lift your hand, lift your head, say to you, and they're not doing their part, conflict will arise. The second one is leadership conflicts. Leadership conflicts. Or leaders, as the case may be. And every leader has differences in their leadership styles. Some are firm, some are permissive, some are autocratic. Every leader would have their own way of ensuring that a team functions. Some like to give directives, others are more open and inclusive and encourage collaboration in their team. So leaders are a very important element in team dynamics, and what style they choose to take on will either make or mar the team. It may be that you need to make necessary adjustments to your leadership style to just resolve the conflict. That's all. It's not as deep as it looks. The percentage of people on your team are against you and not for you. You might just want to try another means. Adopt a different type of leadership.